Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to talk about two simple drills that you can implement within your practice to stop you overswing and also stopping your body stalling out on the downswing, the ground before the golf ball. The club starts to work up towards the sky and then we struggle with strike. Many people who struggle with swinging a little bit too long in the backswing is that angle gets really narrow in the backswing. So if you think the distance between my right hand and my right shoulder gets too narrow, I get too much flex in my right arm. So on the way down, for me to get out of that position, so our right arm's got a little bit too narrow, we've got too much flex in that right arm, the club head gets a little bit too long at the top of the backswing, so we're kind of swinging past parallel. What's going to happen on the way down? That right arm's going to have to get a little bit wider, head gets past my left shoulder. In the backswing, what's going to happen is we're going to have to get that right arm working a little bit wider on downswing. That's where that right arm straightens too early. We struggle with hitting the ground before the golf ball, we struggle with thin shots, and we also struggle with quite a lot of spin, a lot of dynamic loft to impact. Have this cane underneath your right arm. What you're going to do from as you get to the top of the backswing, the moment that your left arm touches this cane, then your right arm feels a little bit wider. So the idea is we're trying to keep our hands as far away from our right shoulder as possible. To facilitate that, what's going to happen is we're going to incorporate a little bit more kind of body turn, so I feel the turn of my rib cage and also my upper torso. As soon as your left arm hits the cane, that's the idea and cut-off point that you're going to stop your backswing. We see a lot of golfers who start reverse pivoting because the right arm gets a little bit too narrow, and anything that gets really narrow in the backswing has to get a little bit wider on the way down. So keep the width in that right arm, so feel like your right elbow points more down towards your right hip. If I get really narrow, the tendency is that right elbow is going to point behind the right side of my rib cage. I get a little bit too much internal rotation on the right shoulder, then we start a little bit too steep on the downswing, and then that's where we get a little bit outside. Feel like your right elbow stays closer to your right hip, and feel like as you get to the top of the backswing, there's almost kind of like a push away with your left arm, so feel like your left arm takes a little bit more width on the way back. As we get to the top of the backswing, we feel like we're pushing the club head away, and as we get to kind of left arm parallel, that's when you should feel the left arm touch the cane. As soon as your left arm touches the cane in the backswing, that's the cut-off point to stop your backswing. Because if we get a little bit too long, as you can see from there, the cane starts to lift, my arms start to get a little bit disconnected. Top of the backswing, feel the width in your hands away from your right shoulder, and feel like you're pushing your left arm a little bit more away from your body, just to try and keep that width. That is a great feeling if you get your arms a little bit too narrow in here, and we get a little bit too narrow, and then on the downswing, we're going to have to widen that angle a little bit too early. The right arm starts to straighten too early, and then we're going to struggle with casting, we're going to struggle over the top. We're also going to struggle to create sufficient distance with that. So left arm touches the cane, that's your indication to stop the backswing. What I'm trying to do from here is I'm trying to feel like my left arm stays as far away from my body as possible, incorporating a slight body turn, and I'm trying to feel like my right hand stays a little bit wider away from my right shoulder. Like, don't suck that right arm in where you get the hands too close to the right shoulder. So just keep the width. Try and keep your hands as far away from your body as possible. If you struggle to get really narrow, what happens on the way down is we get really steep. We struggle with strike. If you're somebody that struggles with kind of their weight falling back the way, as you can see where that cane's pointed now, if I stall my body from turning, my chest quite square towards the target, and the top end of this cane is actually pointing towards the golf ball. We can create a lot of kind of impact issues there, club hitting the ground before the ball, a lot of thins, a lot of flats. Who's grip down the club, nice easy drill. Get to the top of the backswing, as soon as your left arm touches his cane, that's when you need to stop, put the brakes on. So as we start the downswing, you should feel the cane still on your left arm for the duration of the backswing. And as I start down, people who swing over the top, the tendency is this cane is going to start to move out a little bit early, and as you can see, I lose the pressure between my left arm and the cane. So as you get to the top of the backswing, another really good drill you can use, as I start down, you're trying to feel that your left arm stays on that cane for as long as possible. Stay a little bit more closed in this position towards the target. It's also going to create a little bit more of a kind of right side bend feeling where my right shoulder's moving down towards my right hip. If you struggle with slicing the golf ball, see the left side of this cane wants to work towards the ground a little bit too early, left shoulder works down too early, shaft starts to steepen due to this right shoulder getting out a little bit too early. Top of the backswing, left arm's going to hit the cane, that's your indication to stop the backswing. As I come down on the downswing, don't stall your body out where this cane is going to face the target. Try and get the tip of the cane to face the target on the way through. It's going to help keep my arm structure, it's going to help my chest face the target, it's also going to help me transfer my weight onto my left foot. As I start down, feel like if you swing over the top, your right shoulder gets high too early, left shoulder gets too low, left arm gets detached from the cane. Good feeling, get to the top. As you start down, feel like your left arm stays on the cane, so it's almost the feeling that the cane's working down your left arm on the way down, as opposed to getting steep. Cane drops off early, it's from your left arm in the cane. As I start the downswing, the feeling is that the club head's working back the way and my left arm stays a little bit more connected to this cane. Take it to the top. If you swing a little bit too steep, shaft's going to move out, right shoulder moves out too early. Really good feeling, get to the top. Left arm in connection with the cane, your hands away from your shoulder. As I start down, feel like the left arm stays in connection with the cane all the way down. It's almost the feeling, okay, my hips are going to open up first, that's going to create the space and a pathway for the shoulders to come into the equation. But we need to keep our shoulders a little bit more close to the target on the way down, kind of right hip. What's going to happen from there is the left arm's going to come off the cane. But get to the top, feeling the cane in connection with your left arm. As you start down, feeling the cane stays in connection with your left arm. Feeling like your right shoulder moves a little bit more down, as opposed to if you get steep, that right shoulder moves out too soon. As we start down, cane still in connection with your left arm. I feel like my shoulders are a little bit more close towards the target in this direction. I feel like my right shoulder moves down a little bit more. Hips are going to open up. Then what's going to happen from there is my right shoulder is going to feel like it works a little bit more down, as opposed to getting a little bit too steep. Right shoulder moves out too early, stays in connection with the cane. Right shoulder has to feel like it moves a little bit more down. And it's also going to keep you out tilt coming through impact. So it's almost the feeling right shoulder works a little bit more down towards right hip, just after the hips have started to open up. It's going to help you maintain your tilts the way down, and it's going to prevent you getting a little bit too open your shoulders too early. Kind of steps, left arm touches the cane, on the way down, left arm still stays in connection with the cane, right shoulder moving more down towards your right hip, and on the way through, if you stall your body out, that cane's pointing towards the camera, the point towards the target on the way through. That's going to help open up your shoulders, and it's also going to keep everything a little bit more connected. So you're trying to point the tip of this cane towards the target, keeping your arms in a better position. Here,